So I remember that we were, what were we doing last time we came through this case? We were going to subpoena someone, right? I think we were going to subpoena Olive Green, because we found out that the previous tenant of Natsume's room was Olive Green's fiance. He died, and more specifically, he died because it seems that William Shamspeare, who was living in the room below, who'd only been there a month, and this other guy had been there for the better part of 3 months, I think. He wanted that room because there's a potential treasure hunt. Let's go here. Let's do it from here. This is easier. So yeah, William Shamspeare has the bottom floor room at Gary Deb's apartments, and there was this other guy. Here we go, Duncan Ross. That was his name. Was Olive Green, the woman who got stabbed in the previous Natsume case? It's her fiance, and he was staying in the middle apartment, which Natsume now lives in. He was the guy that died in that room, the potential first person who was cursed or whatever. Turns out his stove's pilot light went out in the middle of the night, and the gas kept flowing into the room because they didn't have safety valves in those days, and it suffocated the poor old dude. But now we're finding out that William Shamspeare may have been the one that snuffed it out by blowing into the pipes in his own room, because on the wall, when we did handprint scans and stuff with Sholmes's equipment, we found out that he seems to have been standing on a box in front of that lamp, and he may have been taking the lamp off and blowing down the pipe really hard to snuff out all the gas lights in the house. And he'd been doing that, trying to get rid of Natsume as well, because he wanted that room originally. And then when the other guy, Duncan Ross, died, Natsume moved in within a day because the real estate agent found another renter. They were like, oh, there's a guy who's literally looking for a place right now. Let's put you in touch with him. And it all happened too fast. So we then have a problem where apparently the previous inhabitant of that room before Duncan Ross was a murderer and a jewel thief, and he hid his hoard somewhere. Nobody's found it. And we found this information underneath a loose floorboard in the room, somewhere around here. So he knows about it. He was hiding that information. That's basically what's happened. He wants that room because he's hunting the treasure. So that was the photo that tipped us off to the fact that this Duncan Ross was a previous tenant, and we recognized his photo from Olive Green's hospital ward. So anyway, we've now figured out that maybe somebody with a reason to poison him would be Olive Green, because she was supposed to find out about this from a letter that she got from somebody saying to meet her at the cafe north of on Briar Road at the north, probably either there or there, and he would tell her the truth about what happened. But then she got stuck in the back with a knife. We found part of the envelope, though, that she got that letter in Shamspeare's room. I don't know how this connects yet. So I guess we're waiting for them to bring Olive Green down, and we'll find out. Oh! Joyful, jubilant, jumping jacks! Oh, Mr. Natsume. I'm so pleased for you. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire, and non-locum judicial assistant, Miss Mikatoba, Esquiress. Now, finally, at long last, there can be proof. Proof that I'm innocent, and proof that my tea is innocent. Ah, good morning, my dear fellows. Ah, Herlock Sholmes. May you drink tepid tea and fall forever silent. Wow. I thought the tea was innocent. And we still haven't gotten to use his tea test yet, because he had a test that would test whether or not tea was actually good quality tea or not. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you came. How wonderful. Please, save your derisions. I know what you're all thinking. Good morning, he says, when it's very nearly time for luncheon. Your scorn is written clearly across your faces. Nobody said or thought anything of the sort. The truth is, I was determined that today would be the day. As sleep seduced me last night, I thought, tomorrow, for once, I shall not oversleep. I shall rise early and be present in court to support my companions. Such spirited determination has a beauty all of its own, does it not? Oh, yes. And then I began to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep, I queried. Why, time after time, do they make the same foolish blunder? The answer came to me at once. It's so delightfully simple. People oversleep because they sleep. Well, is that not an astute insight into the matter? Oh, yes. Upon which realization I attempted an experiment. I didn't sleep a wink all night. Wow. And as a result, by first light I was exhausted and began to be assailed by fits of drowsiness. Shocking. And so, the conclusion of last night's experiment is this. A good night's sleep is quite simply essential. Yes, I think most of us probably knew that already. You took the long way around to get to what people already kind of know. What others presume I prove by experimentation. That, my dear fellow, is the scientific method. Ah yes, and one more thing. Do you remember this? Oh, here we go, the tea test. Yes, of course. Oh no, that's the poison vial. Right, yeah, because we caught her about to drink poison in the hospital room. The thing is, she'd been in the hospital room and didn't wake up till the following morning after the poisoning of William Shamspeare, so she kind of has a fairly rock-solid alibi. Get out of here. It's the poison that Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday. Oh, you didn't manage to... It was a laborious task, as the bottle was near empty, but such inconveniences do not hinder Sholmes. I managed to confirm that it contained strychnine, the same poisoning as Shamspeare. So I was right. Perhaps, though of course such circumstantial evidence doesn't prove Miss Green's guilt. I shall leave the bottle in your care now. But licking the insides of the neck is not recommended. I was not really planning on doing that, Sholmes. Alright, so we have that. Could I have a word? Oh, yes. Gregson! How good of you to come. Forget it. Excuse me. Wow. Wait a minute, Inspector. Oi, you! I don't wish to make a nuisance of myself. From the look on your face, I'd say it's someone else who you think is a nuisance of themselves. My dear Inspector, please speak freely and pretend I'm not here. Believe me, if I could do that, life would be a whole lot simpler for me. Do you have the results, Inspector, of the investigation of Mr. Shamspeare's room? That's right, they were going to go and check, see if maybe the mouthpiece had been poisoned. But to me it's like, he's blowing, not inhaling, and you can put poison there, sure, but it might evaporate away after a bit of time, might dry up. He needed to actually ingest the poison. Not yet. Shouldn't be long now, though. No, I'm here about something else. That dead convict, actually. You mean the man from the newspaper article we discovered yesterday in Shamspeare's room? A man by the name of... yes, Selden. I went through the archives at the yard and dug out the old fellow's file. There's something in there that... well, it caught my eye. Something caught your eye? What, Inspector, what? I've copied out the relevant parts for you so you can read it for yourselves. Thank you. Capital offender's file has been entered into the court record. He died of an illness in prison. Let me guess. Was he actually maybe poisoned by strychnine? Let's have a look at them. These documents. Yes, which I shall read. 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder, Died natural causes while in prison. Well, they would have put poisoning, not natural causes, though, unless the coroner was an idiot. In his final moments, witnessed only by his cellmate. An estimated £1,000 worth of loot he stole remains unrecovered. Strangeways prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar, seldom by natural causes. He had been suffering with a fever since the end of October. Alerted by shouts of his cellmate, medical staff arrived, found him dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. We already had that. I believe that's the same information that was in the newspaper snippet. That's very interesting. I mean, that might just be the police statement printed, you know, verbatim. But it's interesting that the newspaper snippet on the case and the police report have the same word-for-word wording. Word? Go. We also haven't looked at this. What is this? Where's the bottom glowing? This is the poison we've been hearing so much about. Strychnine. There are a few remnants in the bottom of the bottle here, look. You mustn't be tempted to try it. Duh. Of course not. As long as we don't lose the trial. Kidding, kidding. No, even if we lose the trial. No, we mustn't lose the trial in the first place, Mr. Naruhodo. So keep going. Make up your mind, Susato. That is kind of strange, though, that the actual file had. I mean, unless, like I say, it might just be the police statement verbatim was used as the article. That's lazy reporting, that is. Holy fuck. So these documents include the details that were in the newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shamspeare's room. Is it really actually relevant? I'll rearrange everything in the court record so we don't have duplicate information. Oh, okay, no. It's just Susato being thorough with her filing. Why are you giving us a copy of the important file, though? Well, you're the ones who turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? I'm just making sure things get handled in the proper fashion. Oh, Scotland Yard's workings are so wonderful. Indeed, my dear fellows, and the inspector here is a shining diamond in its crown. A shining diamond in the rough, maybe? Look, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all. I'm sure that's all it is. It's not that there's something we need to know about this particular file. What? Is that us?
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Zaras. 'Tis the weekend. Yes, welcome on in, dude. Thank you for that resub for 46 months now. Coming up to the 48 soon. That 4 freaking years, dude. 4 years nearly. Thank you so much. How are you doing today, dude? How's life treating you? We're just going through this bit of case and hoping that OBS doesn't crash on me again. The frame drops are real, but apparently the stream looks okay. But if it gets choppy at any point, guys, don't be afraid to let me know. I don't think I can do anything about it, but yeah. I'm suspecting OBS is having a fit, and that's the only reason why it's telling me about frame drops. These might be render frames, so they're getting smoothed out on their way to you guys. I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for that resub, dude. Come on in. Tell us all about your week. Today was your first day at home this week, Monday through Thursday. You were in Barcelona getting introduced to the new job. Wow, I didn't realize you actually went down there this week. Dude, I thought you were going next week. Wow, okay, cool. So you just got back home then, I guess. Nice. How was it? How was the trip? How does the new job look? Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court proceedings are about to resume. That's barely been 10 minutes. Make your way to the courtroom at once. Well, I shall leave you then. I'll be listening with interest from the public gallery. Not nodding off at all, certainly not. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. It was very rainy. Also, gotta go back there next week, get the immigration stuff sorted. Ah, right, yeah, true. Still like 17 degrees though. Found some cool areas of the city you'd love to live in. Sweet. It's a cool looking city, Barcelona. I've only been like once on like a one-day visit when I was like on a boat around the area, like a cruise boat. But damn, it's a pretty cool city, so I envy you a little bit. Office and colleagues are amazing, can't wait to spend more time there. Nice. I'm glad you're excited for it, that's awesome. Well, good luck with it. Do let us know. I mean, I see you at the weekends anyway, apart from this weekend, but yeah. Also, Zaras, I may or may not have created 4 potential characters already for our next roleplay game. Just, you know, well, maybe I'll just decide how I want my stats aligning, and one thing led to another. That's good because it's going to be a meat grinder. Yeah, I remember you saying, I thought I should probably make several and then I can quickly pull one off of my document sheet. So I have one who's a medic, one who's a chef, one who just likes to blow shit up all day, and I have one who was also a gunnery deck officer. I'm pretty sure I did 5 now. I know I worked on it again a couple of days ago. There might be a 5th one that I haven't got a full idea on yet. So yeah. Trying different things with different ones as well, that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Moustache in floods of tears, personally, so the best of luck to you. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes, Mr. Natsume. It's time, isn't it? Yes, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shamspear. This is going to be the final battle. Be a good playtest to see how different types of character concepts gel with the scale. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be cool. You won't really have saved Soseki-san, and I won't really save him until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's going on. But it's all coming to a head now. You can do it, Ryu. You have to. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again now. Before the recess, we had a most startling accusation from the defense, namely that the victim of the case we heard here only a few days ago is a true perpetrator of the incident. A reckless and rash prejudiced charge of wrongdoing in my opinion, my lord. However, the prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to this amateur newcomer from the dubious eastern shores. Racist. Thank you, I think, for the backhanded consideration. A rather cold assessment from the Honourable British Prosecutor, I must say. So, Lord Van Zykes, is the new witness present and ready to take the stand? Ready and waiting in the witness antechamber, my lord. Very well. Bailiff, bring the witness in. Oh god, she's painting while she's in here. Ah. Witness, state your names and occupations for the court, please. William Shamspear, my liege. Of mine occupation, I can say only that I be a tragic victim to be pitied. Oh, I pity him alright, but damn. Currently unemployed, in other words. I'm Olive Green. I'm a fledgling artist. Well, no, not a fledgling, really. A hopeless failure who's too weak-spirited to admit that she has no talent, I suppose. Also currently unemployed, in other words. What a coterie. Coterie? I don't know. Mr. Shamspear. My lord, I am thy humble servant. I'm afraid that you are no longer merely the victim in this affair. The possibility has been raised that you are in fact an assailant intended on taking the life of your fellow lodger. The part you have played in this whole business will be thoroughly scrutinized, I assure you. I would for naught else, my lord. And Miss Green? Yes. You are aware of the reason you've been summoned to this courtroom today, I presume? Yes, the officer did explain. Oh damn, she pointed the finger at you. He said I poisoned this ridiculous buffoon. A tiny, tiny little fly in here. Keeps trying to get up my nose for some reason. And do you accept the charge, Miss Green? I don't know anything about any poisonings. And I don't know anything about this man. Come, lady. Die to live. Verily, I know not thy prickly pigmented personage. Very well, let us proceed with the matter at hand. That being to ascertain whether or not Miss Green has any involvement in this affair. It's all very strange indeed. Why would you suspect me? Yeah, it is a little bit flimsy. I mean, we know that she would have a reason to kill the guy, but whether or not she knew it is another question entirely. She was walking past Briar Road when she got stuck in the back with a knife that fell from the window upstairs. And she was on her way to go visit someone who had basically sent her a message saying that he knew what happened to her fiancé and that it was William Shamspeare, we can assume, that blew out the pilot light through the pipes in that guy's room so that he could have him die, suffocated and killed, or maybe chased off because of faulty piping, but, you know, the end result is the kid died. All because he wants that room. I barely ever go to the East End anyway. It so happens that I passed by that neighbourhood 6 days ago, that's all, and on the night that this man was poisoned, I was still in hospital fighting for my life. Yes, having been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the street outside the Garrideb household. An incident that renders you unconscious for some 3 days. I was struck in the middle of my back with a knife, through no fault of my own, and now I'm under suspicion. What other irrelevant things might I be suspected of? This is all very disturbing. Your energies may be better spent worrying about random knife attacks, I feel, Miss Green. At this point in time, all that appears to connect you with Mr. Shamspeare's lodgings is the Briar Road incident of 6 days ago. That's why we would like you to testify formally now about exactly what happened. Oh no. The incident 6 days ago? You mean you want me to relive that awful accident? Unfortunately, yes. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we will be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shamspeare. But what happened to 6 days ago is nothing to do with me being poisoned. I mean, it is possible that he did try to kill her to prevent her finding out the truth. If he had part of the envelope in his room, that means he's seen the letter. Just can't imagine how. Or maybe, I don't know. See, in the incident 6 days ago, from what I remember, it was a long time back when we played this one now. Books, this is a flashback case. But what we know is that there was no one else on the road. It was a foggy night, but there were 2 witnesses who we have no reason to believe didn't see it actually happen. But what they saw, they didn't quite get right, because they saw Natsume and her and him running away. Which he did because he was scared, because he thought there was some kind of curse on the building anyway. So yeah, I can't see how a third person could have gotten in the middle of that. Maybe he took the letter off of her. Maybe he came along and saw her, because we know that the officer then slept for a little while. He had a little bit of a nap before the constable in charge of the jurisdiction of that area came running. Shamspeare could have picked the letter up, seen it, read it, put it back with her afterwards. I don't know, though. Feels like he would have done something then to make sure she was dead. Anyway, let us proceed then. The witness will present their formal testimony to the court on the subject of the incident that took place on Briar Road the evening of the 17th of February. It was 6 days ago, about 5 p.m. I was walking in the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house where the men in this case have their lodgings. Is she pressing the paintbrush against her cheek? She's gonna have a big smear of paint. I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakest, for I had bespoke my supper. It was the first time I'd been in the area. I had a little matter to attend to, that's all. Anyway, I was admitted straight to the hospital, so I knew nothing about all this business. Which, I mean, hard to see how it could be any other way. Yes, a second incident inside a week at what I believe to be aptly described as the haunted lodgings. One can only presume this is a most unfortunate coincidence. Meanwhile, you say you were not in your room, Mr. Shamspeare. It was the following morn when I did awaken that I learned of the dire events. Marry, what a commotion did the officers of the law make on the floor above mine? That's when they came to arrest Natsume. When Soseki-san was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. I mean, we did run into Shamspeare at the start of this case as well, this previous one, but yeah, I don't know. As suspected, there is nothing connecting these two witnesses but happenstance. It's true, it does seem as though they're unrelated at first glance, but I'm not so sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here, I feel certain of it. And this is my one and only chance to expose it. Counsel, you may now cross-examine the two witnesses if you wish. Yes, my lord. I like how they're both practically in the same pose. They're just holding something different in their hands. Look at them. They're both in the same pose. It's the first time I've just cottoned on to that. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. It's like they're getting ready for a dance routine. Alright. Walking along, then stabbed in the back. Hold it! Hold it! I'm well acquainted with the case. I'm sorry you had to go through that. It was awful. I still can't believe I was unconscious for so long. And I woke up to find that the case had been solved and the culprit arrested. Yes, the incident has been resolved already. Perhaps it would help you to consider it a bad dream if that ended with you waking, and should now be forgotten. Yes, I suppose so. Thank you. Before you put it completely behind you, Miss Green, I need you to remember the details one last time. You must tell the court exactly what happened that day for us to arrive at the truth about the new case. The trouble is, there's nothing to tell really. I was just walking along the pavement. Coincidentally, just outside the house where the men in the case have their lodgings. Okay. Hold it! What were you doing there that day, though? What do you mean? The art school you attended? What's it called? Ah, yes, the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. According to Mr. Sholmes, that's just in the vicinity of Brixton Road, which is some 10 stops away from the scene on the Underground. I believe you mentioned before that you also live on Brixton Road, isn't that right? So why would she be here? We already know. So then, why would you have been walking along Briar Road in the middle of the East End? Let's see if she tells the truth about this. Well, it's because, oh yes, of course. I thought it might make a nice picture. Okay, so she is going to try and cover up the fact that Duncan Ross lived in that apartment building and she was actually going to see someone about his death. The witness is a student of art. City-dwelling artists can't all paint grand urban vistas. that's right. I happen to like the crumbling look of that part of town. Perhaps quaint would have been a less grating term. The point is, she's definitely hiding something. Yeah, seems she's not going to be forthcoming with the truth. She's trying to hide why she was there that evening. It must mean there's a reason for her not wanting us to know. That's the key to this. And you, Mr. Shamspeare, on the evening of the incident 6 days ago? Tell the court what exactly you were doing. 'Twould be my pleasure, sire. Alright, at the tavern. Eating food. A tavern, you say? Which one? 'Twas the Slug and Salad, where I did tarry. 'Tis a jewel in the East End. Van Zykes is just like, And a little unexpected, I feel. Well, what do you mean, Lord Van Zykes? The Slug and Salad offers unusually fine dining, for the locality at least. Not an establishment you expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room. Yeah. Oh, okay. So it is actually a nice place, and it's like, dude, you were eating there. How can you afford that? Maybe he was eating with someone, and they were paying the bill? Partner in crime, maybe? It's true. The menu... God, she's got the menu in that book. It lists premium crusts of bread and glasses of water in different levels of cloudiness. Oh, right. So that's what they mean. It's more upmarket, as in you get a choice of how stale you want your bread to be. Fantastic. I would have expected the Grub's grubbery in the local vicinity to be more appropriate for your means. Watery soup and mushy peas, or rather, soupy water and pea-like mush. I like that. All equally appetizing. I just wanted to try some water in a different pub for once. What's wrong with that? How different can water really be? Or perhaps there's a more plausible explanation? A specific reason why you had to go to that particular establishment? Agreed. The fact that on the day of all days he dined at a place he wouldn't normally, it does stand out. So Mr. Shamspeare's own actions on the day of 6 days ago were slightly suspicious. I wonder if we have some evidence that can explain those actions. I mean... we don't really for now. I don't think we have any evidence at all yet. I'm just trying to remember what the name of the establishment was that Olive Green was going to go to speak to someone. If it was the Slug and Salad, that would be the reason why. Which means we need that letter. This is empty. Why am I holding it? Let me get my water. So we have nothing at the moment. I wish we did, but sadly I can't think of anything at the moment. If we find a clue that could explain why Mr. Shamspeare went there, we must present it to the court. We need her to get the letter out. That's what we need to do. Absolutely. If that is all on the matter, Counsel, I would ask Miss Green to reiterate her next statement. First time I'd been in the area, had a matter to attend to. This is going to be the one that we get more out of. The matter was the meeting. What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate. It was nothing really. It's not worth mentioning. I remember you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital. Ah. It was related to the card you were holding. Miss Green. Ooh. What was that? She clearly hid something behind her back. She was going to drink that poison while looking at that note. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that read, "I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross." What does that matter? This has nothing to do with Duncan. But he's upset by that. Because he was the lodger above that he killed. Let's just skip past this for now and see what else we get, and then we'll come back to this one. Duncan Ross. Please, Miss Green, tell us more about the note. I'm sorry. There's really nothing I can tell you. But I can assure you it's unrelated to all of this, completely unrelated. The truth is you went out that day because that's what the note told you to do, isn't it? The instructions were for you to come to Briar Road at 5 o'clock that afternoon. I didn't think I should go at first, but then I thought it might be a good opportunity to see what the East End looked like. Very well, if that's your final word on the matter, continue, please. Admitted straight to hospital and knew nothing about this business. Okay, let's go through this one, then we'll come back to that and find out what Shamspeare's got to say for himself. Yes, you didn't regain consciousness until the day after the trial, did you, in the early hours? Exactly, so how could I have anything to do with it? And yet, you still haul me in here to this court, like this, honestly. At the time of the poisoning, the witness was unconscious in her hospital bed. Could there be a more airtight alibi, I ask you? And yet, in spite of that, you claim I was the culprit? Well, But you certainly haven't produced any evidence to support your wild claim, have you? None at all. There you have it. The good lady has yet to see evidence, my learned Nipponese friend. I'm working on it. Counsel, I will point out here that the jury's next decision will be final. We're up against the wall here. Mr. Naruhodo, did you notice? One of the witnesses reacted rather strangely to something that was said before. Oh, you mean... That's right. When you see someone reacting in an odd way, it's time to pursue. I need to keep a closer eye on the people in the stand, even if they're not speaking at the time, it seems. I mean, it's so blatantly obvious when that happens, it's so cute the game thinks it needs to hold your hand still and tell you. I just like getting all the text. Alright, so let's skip through this now. Nothing worth mentioning until we mention Duncan Ross, and that it has something to do with this, and then Shamspeare's like, oh, gets all befuddled and out of shape.
What?
Has nothing to do with Duncan. Yeah, really. Mr. Shamspeare, do you have something to share with the court? To be or not to be? That is the question. Ah, pray forgive me. The great bard's words springeth from within me with near a thought. Don't tell me it's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something? Something of relevance, perhaps? Nay, sire, 'twas nothing at all. Presumably you know the name, though, Duncan Ross, I mean? After all, you were both lodgers in the same house. I would it was so, but sadly nay. Lodging can be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me. So you haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room just one floor above yours? Miss Green? Me, my lord? Have I done something wrong? The card that was mentioned before containing the note, do you have it upon your person? See, look at that envelope. I do, yes, but I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should throw it away, really. Before you dispose of it, the court will take it as evidence, please. Been ripped open rather roughly and contains instructions to meet with someone who claims to have information about Duncan Ross. That's what links Shamspeare and Miss Green. It's Duncan Ross. Well done for catching up with us, Ryu. Now continue with the testimony, please. Alright, so we need to look at that card. Oh, I just skipped through. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, you pursued Shamspear wonderfully there. It worked out well, hasn't it? We have a new clue at last. Let's have a look at it then. You look at the shape of that, and the tear in the envelope there. It's all the same. Let's look at the note. The envelope has been ripped open rather carelessly, hasn't it? Miss Green strikes me as the type to open correspondence more neatly than that. I was just thinking the same thing, actually, because I've been under the impression that she had this note, she opened it and saw this, and then she went to go to a meeting, and then when Shamspear came across the lady's body while the officer, what was his name? Rolly something? Yeah. Rolly something. Rolly Beat? Was it Rolly Beat? I think it was Rolly Beat, wasn't it? Officer Rolly Beat. Constable Rolly Beat, rather. Then took a little nap. Shamspear could have come along, taken the note off of her, taken it back to his lodgings to read it, and then put it back on her person as well afterwards, like came straight back out, but he left part of the envelope behind. But that would mean he ripped the envelope open like that. It's like, rip. Perhaps he recognized her and wondered why she was here and what she was doing. But if that's the case, that means the envelope was already closed and she never read the note. So maybe she was just there. No, she already admitted that she had business, so she knew what was in it. Did she maybe reseal the envelope? Because if part of the envelope was left behind, that means it was opened there, probably. I don't know. Ah! What is it? The way the envelope is torn, I'm almost sure I've seen the exact same shape somewhere else. Oh, you don't mean you were thinking of a piece of evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? Exactly, that's it. Try to match them up. They go together perfectly. The torn off end of the envelope clearly belongs with this card. Yeah, because that piece was found in Shamspear's room. Alright. Can we reread the note, though, please? I want to remind myself where she was supposed to meet the guy. There's nothing on it. It's blank. Oh, she's lying. No. I just want to know where she was going to meet him. It said to go somewhere. Alright, now I need to pull off a really insightful objection somewhere. Well, as you've managed to expose this promising new angle, I wonder if you should perhaps try to develop that? Ah, yes, of course. And yelling out objections isn't necessarily the best way to do that, I suppose. Alright, so it was during Shamspear's thing when he said he was having food. So he was at a tavern, slug and salad. And we find out the place is basically kind of fine dining for the area because it has variations of cloudy water that you can order, and staler bread, or less stale. Premium crusts of bread. Wow. Grub's grubbery would have been better. Watery soup and mushy peas, or soupy water and pea-like mush. Still lovely. Wanted to try some water in a different pub. What's wrong with that? More plausible explanation. Specific reason he had to go to that particular establishment. The fact that on the day of all days he dined at a place he wouldn't normally, it does stand out. They were suspicious. Do we have evidence that can explain that? I mean, I don't know if this explains why he would have gone to an entirely different pub that day. This means he would have had to see it before Olive Green got there and was stabbed. So I don't know why this helps us. Evidence that explains why... went to a different place? Mr. Shamspear? Yes, sire? On the day in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize for a very particular reason? I don't know what you're talking about. Pray, if thou hast some purpose, speak us. Very well, I will present the court with evidence. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad that day. Namely, he was there to listen in on the meeting. So he knew beforehand. He saw the letter way before. When would he have been able to do that? Because neither of them are in the East End. He would have... This means that he knows someone was on to him. And it means... yeah. So he knew someone was on to him. I lost my train of thought. Hate getting old. But then he went to go and maybe pickpocket Olive Green over at the university. Read this letter. He would have then had opportunity to put it back on her person when she was stabbed. He could have done that. Or maybe he was bringing it back to her the day he was in the room and was looking at her painting when he was at the hospital. Maybe that's when she got her hands back on it. Did that to make sure that, you know, she didn't think it was missing.
Take that!
I believe this card reveals the answer. Good lord, Miss Green's card, you mean? That's right, my lord. It reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 PM on the 17th. Don't tell anyone about this letter or the meeting. It's a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shamspear, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly as described in the note. So, another crazy theory is he wanted to tell her, which would mean he didn't kill Duncan Ross, but he knows who did or how. But I don't think we're going that way, but that would be an interesting twist. Personally, I find it hard to believe that that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shamspear? Well... Excuse me, can I say something? Yes, Miss Green? That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it? Why is she covering for him? That is interesting. Well, you'd think so, yes, but it's hard to believe it's me. My lord, may I? May you what, Miss Green? I'd like to make something very clear about that card. Very well then, you may amend your testimony to include details about the particular note. It was delivered to me at my address. It has nothing to do with the odd man next to me. Right, okay. Please elaborate. And then we will use the other piece of the envelope to blow that out of the water. I think you said that you received it the day before the incident, didn't you? Yes, that's right. There appears to be no indication of the sender's name or address on the envelope. It was in my letterbox, that's all I know, I'm afraid. I have no idea who sent it. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Who is this Duncan Ross, please? A friend of mine. He attended the same art school as I do. He passed away in a tragic accident a month ago now, though. I wasn't sure what to make of the note, to be honest, but in the end I decided to go. So you found out what the information was? Of course I didn't. You're not thinking straight. Whilst on her way there, she was stabbed in the back. As my learned friend hopefully remembers. Yes, of course. He never made it to the meeting. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, you pursued things, blah blah blah. It hasn't worked out well, has it? We have a new clue at last. Need to pull off an insightful objection, blah blah blah, yeah, of course, and don't yell out objections willy-nilly. Except in this case, we now have an objection we can raise. Has nothing to do with the odd man next to me, except for this piece.
Objection!
We found in his room, which is the other part of the envelope. Interesting. The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address, and upon carrying out the instructions in the note, you found yourself in hospital. Yes, I did. It's terrible. Everything that's happened to me. Yes, it is terrible. If it's all true, that is. What do you mean? Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's the torn off end of an envelope. Oh, is it? It is. And it so happens it fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received. Oh, where did you find that? In Mr. Shamspeare's room. In my room? Mr. Shamspere, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere? Well... Your actions that afternoon follow the instructions to the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 PM on... Oh, God. The 17th, that's where you went. Wait a minute. What if originally the note was his? Out of curiosity. Like, it was sent to him. This was someone telling him. Oh, because if you read it... It doesn't specifically mention the recipient's name either. It could be for anybody. For him, it could be like, dude, I know what you did. To her, it could be, I have information about your fiance's death. Thing is, how did she get it? How did she get it afterwards? She got it the day before she was stabbed in the back, which means Shamspeare would have had to go and take it himself. Gonna go play some Battlefield, have fun. No problems, Aras. Take care, dude. Enjoy Battlefield. I don't know. Well, we'll just keep these possibilities in the air. Indeed. Have fun. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road, 5 PM on the 17th. That's where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspeare. You already knew about the note, didn't you? And you, Miss Green. What did I do? As this torn off end of the envelope proves, the note was originally in Mr. Shamspeare's room. So how is it came to be in your possession? Okay, so it was directed at him, not her. I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist after all. I thought you were a failure. There is only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamspeare's room and stole it. What? You did what? Sorry? Thou hast... What? You broke? I mean... What? What? Thou were in my room! In mine room! What on earth do you want with me? Wow, has she actually been on this all the while? Oh, she might have been sleuthing around this dude for ages. That right there just suggests that, you know, he already knows who she is and that she's been poking around for a while. It would seem that both witnesses need to testify again. And this time cut the bullshit. Miss Green. Yes. Whilst you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure, for the suffering you have endured in recent events, anyone found to be giving false testimony in a court of law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind. Yes, I know. Very well then, witness. You will give formal testimony again now. on the subject of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claims to have received. Anomaly of the note. I do remember now. 'Twas a week ago, peradventure, that the note was delivered unto me. On the day written therein, I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Salad, yet nobody came. Thereafter, on the evening, I shared the company of the Japanese fellow. I did see the note had vanished. I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? I can point out the villain here. And as for the torn off piece of the envelope, I don't know anything about it. Something fishy's going on here. Damn. You now claim to have received the letter, do you, Mr. Shamspear? Faith, 'tis so, my lord. And I would swear to have set it upon the table in mine humble lodgings. Yet, 'tis clear to me now that since I'd returned from the tavern that night, I had not laid eyes upon it. Well, that being the case, young lady, it would appear your testimony was a lie. Is that what you think? How unfair do you think, how unfair of you to think I'm the one lying? I beg your pardon? I'm just a fledgling artist, as I said, and a fledgling artist doesn't lie. That note was delivered to me at my address, besides. We all know who the liar is around here. If that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? This part of the envelope was without question found in Mr. Shamspear's. I don't see why I should explain. Sorry? I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is just to say what happened, that's all. It's your job to give the explanations and the proofs. You're the fledgling lawyer. Oh, damn, boy. This fledgling will do his best. Evidently my learned friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth. God help us all. Well, counsel? I'm ready, my lord. Very well then, the defense will now proceed with a cross-examination of the witness. Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Shamspear's room, there can be no question of that. That's how she acquired the note. Yes, two facts are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all of this. And it's not a pretty one. Alright. So he says the note was delivered to him about a week ago.
Hold it!
Can you shed any light on the contents of the note at all? Nay, sire, 'tis strange to me as a foreign tongue. Even with a knowledge of literature as great as mine own, verily 'tis impenetrable. But Mr. Duncan Ross had lodgings in the same household as you. In effect, he was your neighbour, so surely you knew him, didn't you? I mean, he claims to not have. Alack, if the choice is betwixt I knew him and I knew him not, then 'tis with foreboding that I be forced to declare we were by some small measure acquainted. Okay. Despite your claims, though, you followed the note's instructions and went to the Slug and Salad. Presumably that was nothing to do with your knowledge of literature. Marry not will have the better of me, sire, save for lure of curiosity. So it is true, I was compelled by mine own eager heart to betake myself to the tavern. Yet in the end my curiosity was not sated. Tarried a long hour. Nobody came. So who was supposed to be meeting him, I wonder? So even after waiting for an hour, nobody appeared? Well, yes, sire, 'tis as thou sayest. Really? You paused for a moment before you answered? In truth, when thou asked whether nobody appeared, I did suddenly recall. Really? Do you mean to tell the court that somebody did appear after all? I was not alone that night in the Slug and Salad, my lord. No, 'tis returning to me now. I did treat my lips to an almost clear water, and mine innards to premium crust of bread. And all around me danced a great merry companions. What do you mean? Flies, sire, flies. Oh God, good Lord. In the name of Beelzebub, what were they? Fairies, perchance, from a midsummer night's dream come to taunt me? I think they were just flies. They could smell your bullshit. I can't help thinking that the flies ought to choose something more wholesome to buzz around. Is that wrong of me? No. No. It's very accurate. Shared the company of the Japanese fellow the following evening. So, here's the thing then. I wonder if Olive Green sent him the note to lure him out of his room for an hour so that she could go in, and when she was there she took the note back with her. If nobody came to meet him, what was the point? The only explanation is she sent the note to get him out, so she could have a poke around his room. And then he buggered off. The entrance is on this side. She was stabbed here, on this part of the road. So maybe she came out and went round the corner and up there to leave. And that's when she was stuck in the back with the knife. And then dragged across the street by Constable Rolly Beat, because his beat was this side of the street and this is someone else's jurisdiction, and he was like, fuck, I don't want to have to deal with this, and just dragged her over there. And then he sent his wife off to go and find the police box to call the most, you know, the patrol that's supposed to cover this area over here. But when she picked up the note, she forgot the piece of the envelope. She may have done it to lure him out. One could assume to put poison on the pipe. But if that's true, then how come he didn't poison himself until now? Mind you, no, because Natsume had been in jail for several days, so he had no reason to blow on the light, on the piping. So she could have poisoned him back then, intending to kill him, and then took the note away. Because she may have already figured out what he'd done, and how he killed Duncan Ross. That's my new theory, I think. So he shared the company of the Japanese fellow, and he noticed the note had vanished.
Hold it!
When exactly did you notice it had gone missing? Such idle thoughts now occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas. In other words, you didn't notice. Several days passed between your outing to the tavern and Mr. Natsume's visit to your room. Yes, it would appear that the note disappeared sometime in that interval. Such idle thoughts now occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas. Yeah. And yet, during the time Miss Green was comatose in the hospital, was she not? Clearly then, she could not have been stealing things from Mr. Shamspeare's room. Yes. Yes, of course. It's all some sort of misunderstanding, isn't it, Mr. Prosecutor, sir? You have so far failed to give a satisfactory explanation as to how you came by the note. Ah! I am not here to advocate for your defense, madam. I won't tolerate inconsistencies in your story. You would do well to remember that. Oh, dearie me. Well, Lord Van Zyke's... what's Lord Van Zyke's getting at? I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into the man's room? Why would I?
Hold it!
It seems the note was actually delivered to Mr. Shamspeare about 1 week ago. Oh, does it? But for some reason, it ended up in your possession. I can't think of any way that could have happened except for you breaking into Mr. Shamspeare's lodgings.
Objection.
But for what reason would the witness have done that? I won't deny that Miss Green's possession of the note would appear to defy logic. However, until and unless her involvement in this case can be proven in some other way, any further pursuit of the note is meaningless. Miss Green could only have come to be in possession of the note by stealing it from Mr. Shamspeare's room. And yet there's no obvious reason why she would have done such a thing. What if there was some other reason she broke into the lodgings, though? Yes, we should pursue that idea, Mr. Naruhodo. We're close now, I can feel it. We're close to a breakthrough. Alright, so he's the villain, and she doesn't know anything about the torn-off piece. So you don't want to tell the court the truth about the letter, is that it? What a loaded question. I'm a fledgling artist, remember? Artists are nearly always introverted characters. Introverted? Fie, this fledgling doth readily cast aspersions about my nature. Yet I am an angel, a seraph. Birds do harmonize with my song. The wind doth frolic on my wings. Oh, pity! Wherefore dost thou accuse one so pure of heart, ample woman? Pure of heart? I don't think so. Even a fledgling like me can see you're just a failure. Tragedy! Thou shalt not know the true heart of an artist until thine instruction hereafter by death. Oh, the days, oh, the years. Alas, to align thee thou must wait so long and in vain. Mr. Naruhodo, interject with some clever remark. Like what? This is your chance to shine. I'm not getting in the middle of this. I'm no Shakespearean actor, Miss Susato. I'm not here to win an Amdram award. Come on. Now, as far as I can tell, the only thing that's going to resolve this argument is evidence. Yes. It's clear Miss Green did in fact break into Mr. Shamspeare's room, isn't it? That's where she found the letter. Yeah, two more or less foregone conclusions that lead me to one terrifying conclusion. Terrifying? Yes, I'm afraid to say that the outcome of the cross-examination may well change how we look on this case completely. Alright, so we need to object. We have no points that we can bring up. It was a week ago, the note was delivered to me. On the day written therein, did tarry long at the Slug and Salad and nobody came, and on the evening I shared company of the Japanese fellow. He noticed the note had vanished. So that's the night he was poisoned, which was like 4 days later. I snuck into this man's room. Why would I? I think that's the one we're going to have to attack, is the whole why. Why would she break into the room? Not that she did, but that she would have motive to do so. So it's got to be here. I don't know if we use the picture of the one with Duncan Ross. The bottle of poison, maybe, or the envelope itself. I don't think she broke in specifically to steal that back. That was a secondary task. Or maybe even just, you know, her looking at it as good fortune the note was there. She could remove it and thus eliminate any kind of trail that would lead back to her after she poisons the pipe. Because if the very next day Natsume was arrested for stabbing, he spent days in jail, and then the night he got out, he then had his tea with Shamspeare and then left. And on that night, Natsume said that he felt like he was suffocating in bed again, and the pilot light had blown out again. And we know how that's been done now, is blowing on the, blowing down rather, the pipe for the light fitting. He takes the light fitting off, blows down the pipe hard to disrupt the gas pressure, and it causes the pilot light to go out. And the room fills with gas. He's hoping to kill Natsume. And then after that, at about 1:30 to 2 in the morning, which is when Natsume's light went out, he then keeled over at the table while prying out another coin from one of his bar of soap molds, one of the ice coins that he could then use to pay for the gas in the gas meter, and it would melt out. So that's when his lips touched the poison. It's a very solid theory as to how he was poisoned, was that it was the pipe. We don't have the results of that yet, but we still need to get them back. Scotland Yard are investigating to see if there's any traces of poison on the pipe, but they're not hopeful. But we do have the bottle of poison that was... it does contain strychnine. So I think we present this.
Objection!
Yeah. Yesterday at the hospital we saw you with this bottle, and though the contents spilled during the course of our meeting, a small quantity remained. Ah! And it killed a mouse as well that was in the hospital ward. It came over, licked some of it, and then passed away and died moments later. Which is why we figured it was poison. According to the defence's independent analysis, Mr. Sholmes' chemistry set. Let's not tell them that bit. The liquid that was still in the bottle was identified as strychnine. What? Strychnine? The very same poison that affected Mr. Shamspeare? So we've proven that she was in possession of the same poison. She said she got it out of the medicine cabinet while the doctor wasn't looking. Like he left it open while he was examining her and going over his notes, and then locked it up afterwards, and she snuck the bottle out. Miss Green, you broke into this man's lodgings for one reason and one reason alone. To cover the end of a pipe that feeds the gas lamp in Mr. Shamspeare's room with poison. Can this be... You broke into my room? It may seem incredible to the court, but from the remaining clues there's only one logical conclusion we can reach. The person who attempted to take Mr. Shamspeare's life with poison was you, Miss Olive Green. Oh dear, oh dearie me! Oh no! Oh no! Order! Order! Counsel, are you seriously suggesting this woman put poison on the end of a gas pipe with the intent to kill? Yes, my lord. There's no other way to explain the facts. But if Miss Green did indeed set this odious trap 6 days ago, and the victim had put his mouth to the pipe that very evening as expected, the attempted murder would have happened 6 days ago, surely. Well... That's a very good point. See, I was wondering about that because Natsume was arrested the next morning. So he would have had a night with his gas stove on. But, I mean, it's not like he was blowing his pilot light out every night. Perhaps not, my lord. I beg your pardon? There was a significant police presence in the area that evening on account of the incident on Briar Road. Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as part of an ongoing inquiry. Ah, a circumspect criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at that time. Lord Van Zykes? And of course, the following morning there was more activity at Mr. Shamspeare's address. More activity? Oh, yes. You mean the fellow lodger, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on suspicion of murder? That's right. And as the defense has already proposed, Mr. Shamspeare was meddling with the gas pipe for a very sinister reason himself, to cause the gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby asphyxiating the occupant. But once Mr. Natsume had been arrested in his room, it was under constant surveillance by the police. In the circumstances, Mr. Shamspeare had no reason to blow air into the gas pipe. His intended victim being in a prison cell. With the need to tamper with the gas removed, the poison on the pipe lay dormant. And then 3 days ago now, the situation changed again. Right, Mr. Natsume's trial, which took place here at the Old Bailey, came to an end. The trial in which the man stood accused of stabbing Miss Green in the back was duly acquitted. That resulted in Mr. Natsume returning to his lodgings for the first time in 2 days. Oh, it was 2 days, okay. And that very night his gas stove mysteriously went out and Mr. Shamspeare was mysteriously poisoned. In conclusion, the poison was present on the mouth of the gas pipe. Had been put there in the victim's room some 4 days earlier. Mary! With that new understanding, it becomes clear that this letter was all part of the plan. What plan? Here we go. I'm gonna be right! The court will recall the note gave instructions to the slug and salad for 5 o'clock, and the recipient should tell no one else. The reason for those instructions are now clear. To ensure that the lodger would not be at home at the time stated. To make sure I wasn't home? Exactly. While you were out, Miss Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed. You mean to say that letter was written by Miss Green, yes, and in order to cover her tracks, she took it away with her when she left. You just missed the piece of the envelope. Just after she smeared poison over the mouth of the gas pipe in your room, which means she knows how he murdered Duncan Ross. She did her own investigation. Order! Order! What do you have to say for yourself, witness? Just who are you? Why did you try to kill me? Miss Green's motive should be obvious. It's all tied up with someone's name who we've heard several times already during the course of the trial. So that's what's behind all of this. You will share your apparent understanding with the court, please, counsel. Which person is behind this woman's motive for the attack on the victim's life? Sholmes, he's behind it all. He's a mastermind. He's really Moriarty. He killed the real Sholmes years ago. No. Oh god, that would be a twist though, wouldn't it? That when Dr. John Wilson, his partner, goes to Japan, Moriarty kills Sholmes, and then shows up with Iris like, yo, I used to work with your dad. Why don't you work with me? Would be amazing. But no, it's probably not. Duncan Ross, obviously.
Take that!
The fiancé, Duncan Ross? That's right, before the defendant Mr. Natsume took up the residence in the lodgings at Mr. Garideb, someone else was renting the room. Mr. Duncan Ross. I knew I'd heard the name somewhere else. It was all over the papers a month ago, when the man died in strange circumstances at the haunted lodgings. That does ring a vague... Ah, of course, yes, I remember now. The young man they claimed was strangled by the convict's curse or some such. Sadly, my lord, it wasn't a curse of any kind, nor was it an accident. The man died as a result of Mr. Shamspeare blowing into the gas pipe and causing a gas leak into the room. It was murder, plain and simple. Ah! Well, what do you know? The world is so unfair. Curses, curious deaths, that's all people care about. If it's an interesting story they want to know, it doesn't cross their minds that real people are involved, and once they're bored, just 1 month later, once the story lost its appeal, everyone's forgotten him. You mean you... Duncan was... Miss Ross was Miss Green's fiancé. Fiancé? You may not have known until now who Miss Green really is, Mr. Shamspeare. But she's known exactly who you are all along. Because you're her sworn enemy, the murderer who took the life of the man she was to marry. Marry! Miss Green, is it not the case that in order to exact revenge on Mr. Shamspeare, you smeared poison over the end of the gas pipe? And this is a bad ending to this. Thing is, this has got to lead somewhere. For it to then be something that Mr. Sholmes never wanted them to discuss again. A case that, you know, they would never talk about. Because this was a flashback from the previous one where this is all tying together. Steve! Hello, Steve! How are you, dude? Come on in, my man. Nice to see ya. How's life treating you lately? It's been a while. We haven't spoken in a good while, dude. Hope you are well. Happy Friday. You're good? Just home? Nice. Well, this is all quite extraordinary. Am I correct in understanding that you now accuse both parties, counsel? Being manic at work? Oh, but hey, I mean, that's good in a way. If business is business, you know. Each on different counts of murder? Yes, my lord, that's correct.
Objection!
Inhaling so deeply, it appears that my fledgling learned friend has taken in a lungful of dubious gas that's causing his judgment to be clouded. What? Why would Mr. Shamspeare have wanted to kill these lodgers, as you say? You have completely failed to provide a motive to substantiate your accusations against the man. Yes, that's right, Mr. Reaper, my liege. I've been slighted. 'Tis lies, oh lies, I deny every utterance. And you'll have to forgive me, Mr. Naruhodo, sir. But I don't intend to admit to anything either. Miss Green? I'm sure you think I'm being very rude, but I'm not going to be sent to the gallows for the likes of this scoundrel. But you broke into the man's room. If you didn't do it to smear poison onto the pipe, what was the reason? I thought I'd have a look around, that's all. Sorry? You're right, I suspected him. So I thought perhaps I might find some evidence or something in his room. Evidence that it was him who took Duncan's life. Oh, villainous! Oh, villainy! Oh, tyrant! Oh, roundity of woman! Wow, roundity of woman! But in any case, where I leave my room, I do turn the key in the lock. And she's got a key round her neck. Dude, is that the key to his fucking room? Ah, that would be great. The whole place is falling apart. The locks on the doors are no different. Duncan showed me once how to unlock the door with some terps and a piece of wire. What? Oh, awfulness! Oh, awfulness! Oh, tyranny! Oh, profanity of woman! We will consider your trespassing on some future occasion, but for now, tell the court what you found, what evidence your search revealed. Well, I spotted the note that I'd sent him lying on the floor. Right, so we've got to confess to sending the note. When I went to pick it up, I noticed something. One of the floorboards was loose, and underneath it I discovered a secret hiding place. Eh? Well, we found that as well. We the box. The tin box that was empty. There was an empty tin box. In that room, there were three things. There was this photograph, which led us to this kid, Duncan Ross, and we then found out about his connection with Olive Green and what had happened to him and how he died, and took us all down this new path. We found, it's gone now because it was added into this file, but we found a newspaper clipping, which is this bit here, about a criminal who called Selden, who died in jail in October. But this was like 3 months previous to this. He died in jail of a medical complication, and he was on trial. Well, he was on death row basically for multiple murders and for stealing a load of jewelry. They never found the jewelry, and he was the lodger in this guy's room. So we figured all that out. But we also found a tin box, and there was nothing in it. It was empty. I bet she found something and took it out. Some key piece of evidence that points to Duncan Ross. So we discovered that hiding place too. Inside we found a newspaper cutting, a photograph, and an empty tin box. Surprises me that she wouldn't have taken the photograph. Ah, yes, well, the thing is, when I found it, the box wasn't empty. What? There was something in it? Yes. This rather nice key. Oh! What are you doing with that? What the? So that's what the key is. I noticed I did mention this in the previous thing, where every time she turns around and looks all shy, she grabs the key. She clutches it like, oh. Every ounce of colour was drained from his face. Can you have ounces of colour? Is colour actually something you can weigh? Give it here! Give it to me now! It's mine! I inherited it! What was that, witness? What did you say? You inherited it? No. What's all this about? He inherited the key? It was obviously important to you since you'd gone to such lengths to hide it, so I took it. I don't know what it's for, but you took something precious from me, I took something precious from you. Ow. Damn!
10 fucking months.
10 fucking months. Steve, thank you for the Prime resub. That is much appreciated. Guys, we're at 20% to the next game giveaway. Oh my god, we only just did one last weekend. Go, go, go. Dude, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Steve, for that Prime sub. For 10 months now. That's awesome. Has it been 10 months since you found this channel? What? Or even longer, I guess. Thank you. Appreciate it, dude. So, what if it means you can't open something now? I don't care. Give it back this minute. Give it to me! Calm yourself, witness. Calm down, lad. Calm down. So, Mr. Shamspeare has tried, and in one case succeeded to take the life of 2 lodgers now. Yes, his motive for doing so is the key to everything that's happened. I wonder if that key is a key to Natsume's room, maybe? I don't know. It might be a key to, like, some safe box that the jewelry's in. It's true that there appears to be no motive to support the accusation against Mr. Shamspeare at first, but considering everything we know now, I think there's actually something that could explain it. What? I need to recall every piece of evidence at our disposal, everything we've seen and heard, because I'm sure that I just caught a glimpse of the link that runs through all of these events. In that case, counsel, I must demand that you present evidence to the court in support of your claim. What is it that you say can explain the motivation for Mr. Shamspeare's alleged crimes? Well... the only thing I think that could explain any of it is the capital offenders file on Mr. Selden. So, 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder, died of natural causes while in prison. His final moments witnessed only by his cellmate. And £1,000 worth of loot he stole remains unrecovered. What if Shamspeare was his cellmate? What if Selden still had that key on him in jail? And knowing that he was about to die from whatever medical malady happened to him, he decided to just say, you know what, dude, you just take that. I don't need it anymore. You'll find it in my room under a floorboard, and there's a lockbox, here's the key. Or maybe told him where to find the key at the very least. Suffering a fever since the end of October, alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before the capital punishment could be carried out.